Good morning, Starshine. Good morning, Sunshines. I see Miss Sunrise Dawn is live also this morning. Good morning, Miss Sunrise Dawn. If anybody wants to watch her also, here is her link. Miss Sunrise Dawn. I see literally no one had a nice stream last night. Yeah, last night, let's watch Danlock's LA.
Still using plastic cutting boards? Then you need to watch this. Take a look at these microplastic sheddings that are coming right off these.
Yo, you're not gonna believe this. You're not gonna believe this. We went from nothing to something. I just drove by and I'm like, no fucking way. It's okay to leave Scientology! Wow, and with the Eagles, wow. They're really going for it. They're really going for it.
They are definitely. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Arana. They're starting their Winter Wonderland crap already. Which we knew they were going to, because they're going to do the green room for the parade. Good morning, everybody. We were all up late last night, weren't we? And then Nancy had her fire going last night, and I was talking in there for about 10 minutes and crashed. I fell right to sleep to that fire last night. Hey, T. Hi, Haggis. Way, nice. Nice, Haggis. Yeah, I'm doing prayers that everything backfires on them this year. We need to get somebody to do a float for the parade. Traveltology, good morning. Good afternoon. So nice to hear from you. I haven't talked to you in forever and ever, it feels like. I hope you're doing well. I'm kind of crooked today. Let me throw me back over here where I normally am. I changed it last night for the Salt Lake City Council. Oh, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh, a beautiful day. Let me turn that off just for a second. I need to go to my YouTube just for a second. Guys, see how many views Audit got on her thing yesterday? Oh my goodness. I was absolutely shocked. I'm gonna go there I'll turn it back on just a second, you guys. Here, let me turn it back on. I would love to have a quick catch up. Oh my goodness, that was late for you last night, Amy. Wow. Holy crap, that was late for filming. So, Audit yesterday she actually got to speak at the LAPD commission. And so yesterday she also met with the police officer. She thought it was about the girls that tried to escape, and it was really about a complaint that she had put in back in May when she was told she couldn't walk down the road. Look how many views this got from yesterday. 40,000 views. Holy crap, you guys. That's a lot of views. 40,000 views. Good for you, Audit. Good for you. Hey, what you worried about, darling? Can we be some ears for you? I'll chatter if you want to type. What can we bounce with you? What can we help you with? What can we be just your shoulders for? Oh no. Do you have an open wound that you think you have MRSA? Or do you think that it's like an internal, like a blood infection? I've been through freaking MRSA a few times. I know MRSA too well. And I'm allergic to the main medicine that they give you to try and get rid of it, the antibiotic. Puts me in anaphylactic shock because I had MRSA for so long. Lakshmi Cool, good morning. But MRSA is, antibiotics help. Definitely. They have vancomycin, which is the one I'm allergic to, but that'll take care of MRSA. But also the one flagellin. Amy would know. That one also will work. Yeah. But it'll infect into an open wound. Oh, yeah. Flagell, thank you, Amy. Yeah, that one can be used for MRSA also. One of how they got rid of mine finally. TMI if anybody gets squeamish. Is I had it in my leg, and they couldn't pinpoint the spot exactly. and literally for almost 4 years and over 120 surgeries, literally trying to get rid of the MRSA out of my leg, which was literally killing me. And they used antibiotic beads, and they bake the antibiotics into the beads, into the marbles, and they place the marbles and they sew them in to wherever um you, that's and I became anaphylactic. It killed me. Vanco tried to kill me. So they put those beads in you and they leave them in for a couple of weeks, and it's like it comes out of the beads, the antibiotic does, and goes directly to the spot of the infection. And it's not controversial. A lot of places don't know that you can do that, but that is one of the, yeah, anaphylactic shock. So that's something you may discuss with your doc, is possibly doing some antibiotic beads. And because I became allergic to vancomycin, like seriously, literally allergic to vancomycin, they used a drug called, I know, trying to get off into the weeds, tobramycin, which is similar to it. Yeah, see if they can change to either vanco or tobramycin, and ask them if they can, because if the MRSA goes systemic, that sucks. That sucks big time. And I know exactly the clindamycin, clindamic. I know exactly what you're talking about. And I'm sorry you're having to deal with that, T. I didn't know that had a name, Amy. VRE, I'll have to remember that. But yeah, that's one of those super bugs. MRSA can be a super bug. Well, it's methicillin resistant anyways. But yep. Yeah, T, I'm hoping they figure that out for you, because that is, it can be. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, T. Oatmeal baths? Will that help for the itchiness? You're welcome. And Amy, I'm sure, has had quite the experience since she did home health. Because unfortunately, wounds, especially bed sores and stuff that you do with home health, ends up getting a lot of MRSA. And MRSA is pretty prevalent nowadays, unfortunately. But yeah, T, if you want me to, well, honestly, he should be. Good morning, Claudette. Nope, children cannot consent. Ah. Either if you give me your email or if you want to email me, I will give you that information. Sometimes doctors just don't know. Yeah, MRSA sucks, but it can be taken care of. You can get rid of it. There is hope. Good morning, Rika. Good job. Okay. Yep. Definitely stay working with your infectious disease docs. Some of the, yep, lots of healing vibes. And to be real honest, some of that antibiotics that they put you on, I know vancomycin gives you what's called red man syndrome. And that's what they thought at first that I had. And it makes you flush, makes you red, makes you itchy. And that's the antibiotics itself. I'm not too sure if the one that you're on also has something like that. But that's something you can ask your doc about. And for that, they just stuff a bunch of Benadryl in you while you're taking your antibiotics. I know, right, Haggis? Yeah, I'm gonna have to start doing that fire trick. Last night Nancy had that fire going. It- Good point, Amy. Yep, definitely take your probiotics. Exactly. What's that one, the diarrhea thing you get sometimes from taking antibiotics? Because it strips your C. difficile, as you can get that damn thing. Thank you, T. I'll get back with you and let you know what the names of those drugs are and with the antibiotic beads. Yeah, C. diff. Those antibiotics can mess with your system big time. Yep. Yeah, and that can go through your bloodstream too. Yeah, that's explosive run to the bathroom. And you can't take anything for it because it makes it worse. But I found a natural remedy for C. diff. You can use, it's in my bathroom. Well, there's black seed oil you can take for it. and myrrh. If you take, they can do myrrh caplets. Myrrh caplets will get rid of C. diff also. Myrrh. Myrrh, something like that. But because I am allergic to Vanco, I had to find a natural remedy for it. Yeah, and then they put you in lockdown, so because it's so many, it spreads so quick, and they come in and everybody has to glove up and suit up, and wow, what a pain in the rear, what a pain in the ass, literally. Yep, everything you never wanted to know about C. diff and antibiotics and MRSA. Unfortunately, when you get a wound, sometimes, well, MRSA's right on the skin. It has, Matt, right? You feel like you're in one of those movies where they hazmat everything for the virus that's gonna kill the world. Oh gosh. Yeah, unfortunately, I went through rounds and rounds and rounds of all of that crap. And C. diff got me just maybe a year ago. So I think once it's in your body, it's hard to get rid of it. It just hides. But literally, I did myrrh and black seed oil and then tested negative for it. It took a couple of weeks. I know, and then you always like when you're in there and you have to ask for something or need a nurse to come in, you prioritize your asks because you know you're going to be a big burden. It's like, I'm sorry, here's my list, bring everything to me all at once. Uh, T, I would, maybe call into the urgent today because if it's starting to swell and you're getting itchy, you may need something a little bit more immediate than waiting for a doc. Call and see if they'll advise you to do some Benadryl. Lakshmi Kula, yeah, it does come from an endangered plant, but it takes so little of the myrrh that you can get the pill form. But it is a very good anti-inflammatory. I'm not a doctor, so I would never suggest that somebody go out and replace what you're doing with your antibiotics, but you can do your own research. And when I look through things, I look through peer journals, peer-reviewed journals of reviews of what's worked and not, because there's so many things out on the internet that they promise you this, they promise you that, and it really doesn't do anything, and there's no proof to it. I always laugh because that chiropractor that's the Scientologist, Eric Berg, is known for that. Hey, good morning, Kathy. Oh, man, that sucks. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, see if that'll help. I remember those days having little ones. Speaking of little ones, I had um, sent the twins their birthday presents, and my granddaughter had wanted she wanted a princess dress and princess shoes because she's all about that princess stuff. So I sent her princess dress and princess shoes. And so she FaceTimed me yesterday to show me her beautiful sparkly princess shoes and her beautiful sparkly princess dress. Nice and pink. She got a tiara with it and some long gloves and her sparkly princess shoes. It was so cute. She said she was going to wear them to school on one breath, and then the other one she was happy she got a rifle for her birthday. She wanted to go deer hunting with her best friend. Like, okay. Yeah, isn't that crazy, T? 40,000 views just in a couple of hours. That's crazy. It's pretty amazing. Gotta wonder where in the world they all came from. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, those were, but here, I'll show you a picture of them. They're real shoes, but they look like, uh, I'm gonna turn this off just for a second while I go to the picture. That is great exposure. Look at these shoes, guys. Those are some sparkly princess shoes. Because we've done the ones in the past where you they have the little plastic shoes. Those are some awesome sparkly shoes. Good morning, Stephen. And she had to show them off for me. And they fit perfect. Okay, you guys. There's nobody out there. You don't need to bark. Aren't they? So she was going to wear them to school. So, I mean, I've done the ones where they get the little dress up ones, the dress up high heels and all of that, but they break almost right away. So these she can wear. Too cute. Too cute. I wonder if they have permits for that. I don't see no permits posted. Yeah, I don't really like the glitter either. So far so good. The glitter isn't falling off, but I think that would be a good reason to send her to school with them. Payback. Perfect princess shoes. Yep. And did she send me a picture? I don't think she sent me a picture. Ouch. We were just FaceTiming and I didn't grab a picture. Yeah, what's really funny is she's got both of her front teeth, one of her bottom teeth are all missing because she's that age. Yeah, black seed oil is good, so I'd use myrrh and black seed oil. Black seed oil is kind of nasty tasting. It's disgusting, but yeah, she didn't send me a picture. I'll bother her and I'll put one up on my community page. I'll just black out her face or something. Well, I can't do that because you got to show her toothless. Yeah, you just need to make sure that the winter weather isn't going to get you, Rika. Ruh-roh. Hit the wrong button. Just make sure and keep your ducks in the loop. And sweet dreams to your son. Give him lots of snuggles. And to you too, T. Oh, that would be nice, Rika, if you could get over there. We did the police commission last night. That's always fun. Not the police commission, the Salt Lake City Commission, City Council last night. There was a lot of people there. It ended up going pretty quick though. I always appreciate the fact that people come and they give their 2 cents, their 2 minutes, their 2 cents, and they have good information. That's the type of councils that I really like to be a part of and listen to. I'm not too hip on listening to F-Bomb, and Go Puppet's interesting. He has a lot of information, but the way he goes about it sometimes bothers me. Ooh, Stevie Weeby got hacked. Oh, PTS did a new one. Let's
Have
see
you
if
ever
this
wondered,
happens.
what do people really think? Whoa. Dare to ask with SurveyMonkey.
No one believed it at first, but now everyone wants one.
A customer returned his knife because he missed our buy.
We're back. Issue 3, OSA Network Order number 3. This one's called PTSness on External Lines. This one's a fairly quick one. It is confidential, so don't tell anyone.
Uh-oh, it's confidential.
This one's talking about going PTS when dealing with people who are outside of Scientology on PR actions. Kind of cool. If you haven't watched the other 2 videos, I recommend go back and watch those. So far, we're on number 3. And we will get right into it. All right. Office of Special Affairs, OSA Network Order number 3. It is intended for OSA Network, all execs and staff. Issued 17 March 1980. Confidential. PTSness on External Lines. It is taken from a briefing by L. Ron Hubbard to Commodore's Messenger on 18th of January 1980, which is kind of interesting. And then those are the references that the tech comes from. He goes on to say, from time to time, an executive will find that terminals on external lines, such as legal and PR, go PTS to suppressive elements in Scientology. Sorry. Yes, Scientology. In society. The results can be quite catastrophic. So to go PTS to something is either to get sick, but it could also mean to fall for enemy lines, to go into agreement with something that is considered suppressive. So perhaps they might slip into a doubt condition about being in Scientology or the Sea Org. All types of different things could be considered going PTS. They could go insane. They could do a lot of things. But basically, what's really happening is the reality of actual life is breaking through to that person and their critical thinking skills is what happens when you actually go PTS and start considering perhaps Scientology is not correct or something that doesn't go along with Scientology's propaganda lines. Well, let's continue. An instance of this was an earlier legal unit which was handling a case that could have been easily fought and handled, but they didn't demand that attorneys come up with handlings and solve the problems on this particular case. Instead, they made up their minds about some solution to the scene and then asked the attorneys for an expensive opinion on it, which didn't resolve anything. They ended up with solutions that would have aided the enemy, God forbid. If senior executives had not gotten on the lines, this legal unit could have torpedoed the whole case. It was not a slight thing. Looking into the matter, it was found that the staff members of this unit were PTS as hell. They failed to develop a proper defense and attack line. Their executives had let them get that far without forcing them to get the matter properly handled. Naughty, naughty. Therefore, an executive has to be aware at all times of staff on external lines who are handling situations. They can go PTS. It is up to the executive not to go PTS. The executive has to keep pushing and has to override any nuttiness. That is actually the solution. if I've ever heard a line of victim blaming and just unrealistic expectations of someone who is an executive, it's phenomenal to think that at some point I believed that going PTS was your fault. Getting sick was your fault. And it's amazing the level of blame and shame that you get that gets laid on someone in such a high position of authority as in OSA as an executive. Obviously a really good example of that would be Mike Rinder, but all the people that are executives working under David Miscavige are held to this high standard, which is impossible to reach. He carries on. One of the tricks is for the executive to be harder to confront than the situation legal or PR is handling. Wow. I actually hadn't read this paragraph yet. Wow. So what he's saying here, one of the tricks is for the executive, so the person who's in charge of the person who's supposed to be handling all these PR things, to be so hard to confront, so mean or nasty, or carry such a high level of ethics presence and harshness that it's actually easier to deal with the situation at hand with attorneys, lawyers, big bad suppressives, whatever, than it is to deal with the executive. That's astonishing. Executives have to make the consequences of not handling it much worse than the situation itself. It is up to executives always to handle our legal and PR type terminals and get them in there confronting it. Wow. That is phenomenal. Like, you always hear about how harsh it is to work in these conditions. And I really feel like that one paragraph, one of the tricks is for the executive to be harder to confront than the situation that the staff members are handling. That one line really, really lays out the toxic, horrible environment that these people, the Sea Org members, OSA people, it even comes down to a local level, because I've experienced it myself, that they are so harsh that it is much easier to just deal with the biggest problem you can imagine than it is to deal with them. That is astonishing. And that is also the end of this reference. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That was eye-opening for me. I had not read that full thing yet, and so you saw that reaction live. Stay tuned for more.
Amazing, isn't it? Just amazing. I'm looking for sorry, I'm looking through some files here, looking for something that where in the world did it go? Here's an excerpt from a lecture. Let me see if I can get it on here. Yeah, I'm not even going to bring it up. I don't want to, my mind gets so full. I don't want to deal with gobbledygook in my head. They do, but they're so safe pointed. Good morning, Power Lies to Paralyze. It's like they don't know that they're being antied, Amy. Or maybe they just don't care. I don't know. Oops, sorry about that. My stomach is just growling. Sorry if you heard that. It's not a monster. How are you doing this morning, Power Lies? I haven't even opened up my stream or my Good morning, Brian. There was one of them that I wanted to see if in all these docs. Nope. This one is about the UK. I'm looking for stuff that had anything to do with Janet. Yeah, this is all UK stuff for the BBC. I don't think that's the correct Janet. Let me see. So here's an interesting one. Let me see if I can pop this on screen. Yeah, I was looking in the files themselves in my file directory. Let me see if I can get this bigger. This is a communication from RTC to RTC and the Commodore Messenger Organization int, and then the int reserves directory. So the Building Investment Office, and this is RE, the org building purchase for MV. Dear sir, this is going to David Miscavige, COB. Based on the meeting you had with the CMO int last night, I am sending you the report requested as to how much money each org has, what is the cost for each org, And what is the balance needed for each org we are purchasing before MV? I have included the data for each building below in the attached binder. So Budapest, there's a lot of money that they ITD. So this is all the money that they get pledged. Stuttgart, Padova. Here's the CC for Las Vegas. Sacramento. So basically they're saying the building is under purchase contract right now. They have raised $914,000 so far. There are no additional funds pledged yet, but there are OTs in the field and potential to raise the rest. OTs, that's where your money's going, including OTs who come to the voyage. Crenshaw, Harlem, $6 million. Copenhagen, Sydney, Stevens Creek, $18 million worth of properties. And that was way back when. Can you imagine what they're worth now? Yep, OT equals completely loyal and brainwashed. I'm sorry, Power Lies. Yep, that's what they're doing. So, I mean, they haven't changed their strategy. That's exactly how they get their money, are from OTs, from sales, from service sales, and from people pledging through their events to purchase their uh, buildings and land, and they get that for pennies and don't have to pay taxes on it. Absolutely ridiculous. They paid a shitload of money for that Harlem one, though, didn't they? So, okay, here we go. Here's another one. This one's about South Park. Let me see. I gotta. I can't find it. Yeah, it is definitely such a scam. Nope, that's not it. So this one's to David Miscavige about RE South Park Paramount. Dear Sir, I know Michael Dovin briefed you on what Kevin Huvane had to say concerning Comedy Central and the South Park show from his meeting on Saturday. Huvane is putting calls to Sumner Redstone, Sherry Redstone, and Brad Gray today, but has not gotten a hold of any of them yet, and I am staying on this until he gets through. The situation was, in the course of pulling strings on media, entertainment industry attacks, I have found data about Paramount Viacom that needs to be handled. The data is there have been major changes in attitude and direction at Paramount since Tom Freston came on the scene, and even more so after Sherry Lansing left in the March of this year. Information about Freston. Freston oversees all the cable network. CBS end of the business is headed by Les Moonves. Shows all the information there. Goes into even Brad Gray and David Geffen have been friends for years. When Burt Fields saw Geffen eating lunch with Brad Gray at Geffen's house in Malibu, at the time the negotiations were occurring, Geffen told Burt there were issues related to the Paramount deal on MI3. It kind of gets into the weeds into people. They start digging into you once they figure you might be a threat. They check all your shit. And then Mike Rinder's little, this is okay. This is how they end a lot of them. Or love, much love, Mike. And then you do a okay or not okay to get your little checkbox checked from COB. Right? I know. They have their little minions. Talk about our minions. But that's all they have time to do is to sit there and try and screw up your life. Okay, let's see what other ones we can pull up. There's a few of them that what in the world? Oh, because I have it under COB. I'm like, where the hell did the rest of my docs go? Uh-oh, I hear the coffee maker going. Let me turn these off. So here's one. Shh, you can't tell nobody because it says confidential. Do not scan. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I know that. Much love. Hey, Elizabeth, good morning. That's really just kind of wackadoodle if you ask me. Okay, so here we go, guys. I don't really know what it says all the way down. So we're going to read it together. It says confidential. Shh, do not scan. Hey, Kirby's mom. It's going from Osa. Dear Sir, here is my proposal for the call to Gary. I will call him on his cell phone and tell him that I was checking in to see if the reports he mentioned to me last week were written now. If he says yes, I will ask if he already sent me copies. They have to clear this with COB. Ensure he has the correct address. If there is a communication lag, I will pull the string to find out what the delay is, and if there is some other reason that they have either not written the reports or not sent them to me, I will handle accordingly based on what I get out of him. If there is Q&A or non-confront on their part in writing the report, I will find out what they are saying exactly, what their current frame of mind is, and if they have some other plans now. Okay, that was a boring one. Sorry, guys. That wasn't even a scoop. That wasn't even worth a confidential stamp. I could have told my kids about that one. Apparently, there's something hiding in that message. Good morning, sunshine. Yeah, okay, go ahead and put it there, and if you'll help me sit back, I would appreciate it. I'm going to turn this off just for a second, you guys, so that would not turn it off, but turn the video of me off. That way you guys can't see me. On my foot, Chris. Oh, goodness sake. Spasms. Excuse the kerfluffle sounds, you guys. Thank you. No, that's okay. I'm kind of hot. Okay, all better. I moved up in the bed a little bit. So what other ones can we find? Here's counterattack tactics. Let's see, I've got that one opened. Did I open it? Yes, counterattack tactics. And we will open it here. Window capture, properties. This one's kind of fuzzy. Ooh, yum, coffee, coffee, coffee. So this is confidential. This one's an old one. It's dated 1972, but these are still the tactics they use because this is LRH's words. When PR and legal find themselves engaged in handling attacks, intelligence has failed. OSA is intelligence. Those who attack Scientology, as proven by Oxford capacity analysis graphs, criminal or shady record, personal lives, etc., are provenly suppressive. If they rise into the heights of government, they are able to exert the fullest dramatization against anything which might benefit others, and usually do. So if the suppressives get into control, you are screwed, is what he's saying. Being suppressive, a kind word for insane. Their aims are destructive. You nasty SPs. So this is literally what's drilled into their heads. That's why SPs, why they feel SPs, you shouldn't listen to them, shouldn't talk to them. When you threaten to upset things with a counterattack, this is pleasing to such people, and they go on attacking as they want their own government or institution activity attacked. They want riot and civil commotion. Also, by the laws of insanity, they also want themselves destroyed. This is also known as being selected as somebody's executioner. The more you attack, the more people goad one. So why do they attack people? So the IRS, what the hell? The IRS picks a celebrity a year to attack and degrade, as an example. So here's a bright idea. These persons can always lose their jobs. These jobs permitting them power to destroy are valuable to them. This is a point of vulnerability. That's why they go after everybody's job, because it's written into policy. If the person's job is also not valuable to him, or if he cannot be made to cost his job, something can be found which he is seeking to protect, and it can be threatened. That's what they talk about the ruins. If on test day it is not feasible, survey to find what the person considers valuable and use it for restraint. So here's wherever there's an attack is in progress. Let's use DOA as an example. Or audit. Let's use audit. And even when being held off by counter-propaganda, draw up a precise program using intelligence principles and cross-filing to isolate the attacker. Identify the instigator. Audit LA. When identified or even suspected as an instigator, draw up a project which includes at least 3 channels to cost him his job. Audit doesn't have a job. Her job is to instigate you. Ha ha ha. Draw up a second project at once to survey and discover what the person really is defending and threaten it effectively. Execute the projects rapidly. On achieving success, inform PR so that PR can call off the PR counterattack and capitalize on any information gained if it does not expose intelligence. G. Inform legal so legal can replan and utilize the information also gained to mop up. Note: intelligence in these regards is not feeding PR, and legal is the only fruit of its endeavors. It is operating independently of those two functions with its own product, i.e., a dismissed attacker or its secondary product, a totally restrained and muzzled attacker. A small unit operating with superior technology can triumph over the most gigantic but vulnerable enemy and render him pleasant. Interesting. She was definitely calling them out yesterday. I kind of agree with that, Amy, that they are creating their own Armageddon. So basically, it's the same principle that you spank your kids because to dismiss violence. So you attack people in the harshest of ways to stop them from attacking. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Make that make sense. Yeah, she was calling them out yesterday, and one of the things that kind of cracked me up, I told Audit this afterwards, is that that detective put in a buttload of work to talk about her rights being violated for not being able to go down that road. Right, Amy? Exactly. It's dictatorship, Eaglewood. Exactly. He put in a buttload of work over that one claim. If they would put in that type of work and that effort into, let's say, 2 young ladies that escaped, they'd probably figure it out. If they put that much effort into the permits being violated and the laws being violated, we wouldn't have anything to protest. I was amazed at how much effort they put into that. Because, gosh, they were there like an hour or so. It did, and there's got to be something. I think with the new chief, he's basically said, handle this. Get that woman out of my hair. In a good way. Should we discover another document? Oh, let's see what other things we can find. All sorts of crimes. Crimes always get the title of crimes. The title of crimes has nothing in it. It's a blank page. Somebody must have erased it. Imagine that. Okay, here I don't know what the whole thing is about, so this might be a dud, but it's Sarah Mole email. Let me get it up on screen. Is it? Today's a big day in true crime today, yeah. Hopefully they'll have a decision here pretty quick, or closing arguments. Okay, so this one's got the F-bomb and everything in it. It says, communication from Mike Rinder, or to Mike Rinder. Dear Sir, thank you for your dispatch, and I see the dev T I generated. This is definitely a very major fuck up on their part, and we will take full advantage of it. I am laying out the specific handling here in answer to your questions. The email is preserved by both Tommy and me. After speaking with you, I spoke to Monique, Bill Hart, and Moxon. They all agreed that the response should go to Mole right away, telling her that nobody agrees to use of their interviews. Blah, blah, blah. The draft letter. See, this was like a long time ago. Moxon's had his filthy hands in there since. A reply needs to go out to Sarah Mole, putting her on notice. This is all about the BBC. Draft letter from celebs Annie, Kirsty, Leah, and Juliet. Dear Miss Mole, I have been informed by Mike Rinder that you have requested on behalf of the BBC my consent to utilize my image and statements in the Panorama program the BBC intends to produce. Such consent is strictly and unconditionally refused. Blah, blah, blah. That was a draft letter. Oh, yeah. Chloe Driver verdict today, yep. Okay, guys, I need to go fluff and buff. We did a couple of Annie Archer, maybe? I think it's Annie Archer. But I need to go fluff and buff while I get ready for our meetings today. It's 10 to 10. and coffee's kicking in. I am going to end stream. I will be back on in a couple of hours for our public works. Thank you, everybody. T, I hope your son gets some sleep and I hope you feel better.